Welcome to the first DAWWG Cast. I'm Jackson Brooks. Well, homecoming week is behind us, and so are the games, weird clothes, and decorating. This year's Mr. Touchdown was Lucas Wagenbach, and the homecoming queen was Jade Eberhardt. Friday night's game against the West Branch Bears ended in a loss for Meepo. It was disappointing, but the season's not over. Speaking of football, our reporter AJ Haney spoke with Coach Pearson about this year's team.
Thank you, Jackson. The start of a new school year brings upon the start of a new football season. We interviewed Coach Pearson and asked how he feels about this new season so far.
This season's off to a good start. We've got some people playing some different positions and some guys coming back, some experience as well. So trying to, early on in the year, mesh that together and put together making progress each week is what we're after, and we've done that so far.
Coach Pearson had also said that this team is a talented bunch who always have each other's backs, and he says that sense of family will hold this team together better than others. We had also asked Coach who he thinks will be the biggest competitor this season.
Iowa City Regina is always tough, and West Branch, those are both storied programs, but we would like to think that we're a storied program as well. And so we're looking forward to those two challenges and making a deep postseason run.
The coaches are always finding new ways to improve the Bulldogs, with the most recent addition being the 10-yard fly. It's helping their focus on speed development and helps them see progress in each player individually. His main goals this year as a coach are to help each and every player get better on and off the field. Back to you, Jackson.
Thanks, AJ. Well, every year, Meepo welcomes new students to our hallways, and this year is no different. Katie Cross is in the hallway speaking with some of the new arrivals.
Thanks, Jackson. I've interviewed Ollie Orton and Bradley Terrence Dickinson to get a better understanding about who they are, and this is what they told me. Let's go meet them.
Where are you from? I came from Burlington. I'm a freshman.
Burlington. I'm a junior.
We asked them how they would describe themselves in 3 words.
Aloof. I guess I'm kind of funny. I'm an overachiever.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
We asked them about pros and cons.
It's quieter, and I like the little block thing. It gives you more time for work and stuff like that. A few cons are the floors aren't slippery enough. I tried to slide one time, and I burnt my leg.
Oh my god. I've done that too. The pros would probably be like a lot of the people here that like I've met are nice. There's a lot of cool people here, and one of the cons would probably be the hour and 20-minute long classes. I hate that so much.
We asked them what they would do when they aren't in school learning.
Chill around the house.
I draw or torment my siblings.
After learning about what they did for fun, we asked what is a fun fact about themselves.
I like weightlifting.
I'm doing mock trials.
Brad said something during his interview that Dog News feels everyone should hear. We asked Ollie if she agreed with his statement.
You know, going fast never kills you. It's suddenly stopping to get you.
Yeah, same here. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh, that's good.
I'm sure you'll join us in welcoming these new students to Meepo. Speaking of new, you may have noticed that seminar has some new rules and procedures. I spoke with Mediapolis teacher coach Dave Pearson about these changes.
Last year we had win time because we had hybrid learning and the Google Meets and stuff. We put in the structure of win time at the end of every day. And this year we went back to, since we're at level 0 for our return to learn plan, we're back to business as usual, as they say, from 2019. So back in that schedule, we had seminar built into the back half of RAP. So now it's a change back to what we used to do prior to the pandemic.
Next, Mr. Pearson elaborates on the purpose behind seminar and how it helps with students.
So again, they're not necessarily new changes, they're just changes back to our normal schedule. And the intent with the seminar time is to have time built into the day for students to either get enrichment or to go see teachers for maybe for absences, or to for clubs to have meetings, or in general just to address some of their academic concerns.
I asked Mr. Pearson about the new sheet that the students can use to help them set their goals and be more organized in class.
Sure. So we developed there's a building leadership team that involves a representative from each of the departments in the high school, and we developed a goal setting sheet for students to plan out their time for the next week of seminar. And so what that does is it gives seminar time a more clear focus. If there's a teacher you're going to need to see to get makeup work, or you're going to need to schedule a reassessment, the sheet allows not only the student but the teacher to help stay on track with that and schedule their time better. So it's also developing a 21st century skill of personal responsibility and organization.
And lastly, I asked Mr. Pearson about the enrichment portion of seminar, which helps them with activities outside of school.
So the enrichment portion is basically, I call it the cherry on top or bonus time for students to go engage in learning that doesn't necessarily take place in our core academic courses. So for instance, learning about personal finance, I know that takes place in some courses, but this we're using a program, it's under construction right now, but the program is called Everify, and it has a lot of different enrichment topics ranging from personal finance, but also out to college and career readiness, learning about trades, those sorts of things that are kind of real world, real life learning that we often hear about that the school doesn't do enough of, and having seminar time provides that opportunity for students to engage in that. So I'm really looking forward to that this year.
Finally, you may have noticed a new face in the English department. Layton Robinson has the details.
Thanks, Jackson. So here at Mediapolis, the English department has added a new teacher to the roster.
My full name is Lewis Thomas Ferguson, but I go by Tom. We're here at school, Mr. Ferguson.
Yep. We asked Mr. Ferguson how he came about Mediapolis.
Mr. Thornburg and Mr. Ray are people that I've worked for before. Mr. Thornburg contacted me about the open English position and sold me on the school, and so I decided to take the offer and come here from West Burlington.
Mr. Ferguson teaches several literature classes and a creative writing class, so I asked him about his gaining years of experience.
I taught at New London for 1 year, Waco High School for 15 years, Fairfield for 1 year, then West Burlington the past 5 years.
I asked Mr. Ferguson how he's enjoying Mediapolis so far.
Good so far.
Thanks, Layton. That about wraps up the first DAWWG Cast of the year. I'm Jackson Brooks. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.